So we have LA County Board of Directors, LA County, whoever, board members voting to ban travel to Florida and Texas. Now, if you've heard of this, go ahead and throw a hands up emoji or throw a thumbs up emoji in the comments. Now, if you happen to live in Florida or Texas, chime in. I want to let you know. I want to hear from you. Do you even care? And if you happen to live in LA County, chime in and let me know if this even affects you in any way, shape, or form. Either way, let me know where you're tuning in from, city and state. If you're tuning in from outside of this great nation, let me know. Country, region, province. Okay, so the LA County Board of whoever voted to, and from what I read, the vote narrowly passed, but they voted to ban official travel to Texas and Florida because of the governors of those states' stance on LGBTQ, transgender teachings to 3-year-olds and things like that. So we're not going to talk about that. What we're going to talk about is what are the people of LA County thinking right now when they are looking at the officials that run their city, run their county. Homelessness is rampant. There are homeless encampments all over the place. Drug use is rampant. Public drug use rampant. People defecating in the streets. Violent crime is through the roof. There is essentially a free-for-all because they changed the laws so that anything under $1,500 won't get prosecuted. So you have groups of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people at one shot going into a store, taking things, breaking glass, because they essentially know that there's not going to be any penalty for it. So crime is through the roof, violent crime is through the roof. You see shootings and murders in areas where before they weren't terribly bad. So what are the people in LA County thinking right now when the people who are supposed to be running that county are focusing their energy and effort on banning travel? Now they're taking the time to vote to ban official travel by any city officials, county officials, to Florida and Texas. Now, first of all, you may be thinking the same thing I was thinking, which was, if I am a member of the government for LA County or for the city of LA, whatever it might be, why am I flying to Texas or Florida on official business? The city is crumbling from within. What would an official from LA County have to fly taxpayer funded to Florida or Texas for anything? I'm not sure. I've never been on a city council. I don't know that much about the inner workings of how a city council works, but I know when your city is falling apart, I don't quite know why you would need to fly to other states on the taxpayer's dime. I don't know. If someone here watching knows the ins and outs of local city politics and how that works and why a city official from LA County might have to fly, paid for by the taxpayers, to another state for official business. I don't know. Anyway, if you know, leave in the comments below. So now they've banned that. They banned it. And they took the time to discuss it. And they took the time to vote on it. Meanwhile, people are getting murdered. Primarily, people of color are getting murdered, although they claim Black Lives Matter, right? But crime is through the roof. Homelessness is just rampant to the point where I know people who live there that are now saying, despite paying astronomical taxes, they can't even go to certain areas because they feel that it's too unsafe. Even during the day, they can't even go to certain areas. They don't eat at certain restaurants anymore. They used to eat outside, al fresco, certain restaurants. They don't even go anymore. Too dangerous. People were coming up broad daylight as you were sitting on the sidewalk eating your meal, avocado toast maybe, and robbing you at gunpoint, taking your jewelry, taking your wallet. So you say to yourself, when that is happening where you live, how do you feel that the officials that are supposed to be addressing the crime and the poor standard of living, they are, rather than addressing that, they are now focusing on, okay, we don't agree with what Florida and Texas are doing, so we're going to take the time, energy, and effort to put together a vote to make sure that none of our city council members fly there on official business because we don't like the way they are treating this issue that affects 0.00001% of children. So what's even more interesting is you look at all the people, all the politicians from California that have recently purchased homes in Florida, Nancy Pelosi, and you say to yourself, okay, now, LA County votes to ban official travel to Texas and Florida because of their stance on an issue. Understand it, fine, don't agree with it, but that seems to be a personal opinion. And there were some people who spoke out about it, some people from LA County that spoke out about it. Residents of LA County, they stepped up and they said, what does this matter? This is all your personal feelings, and you're now spending taxpayer dollars to take time to vote on this thing that it really is all about your personal opinion on this issue, the LGBTQ plus issue, and what other states are doing when it comes to teaching their children about it and what parents can do. What does that have to do with the people of LA County that are suffering from crime, poverty, homelessness? So I'm sure you guys saw $7 per gallon fuel. So while that is happening, this is what they're focused on, and that should be concerning. Meanwhile, one of the most popular, famous, infamous politicians from the state of California just purchased a multi-million-dollar home in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida. Now, ask yourself, they're going as far as banning official travel, yet politicians are buying homes here to fly here. Now, I wonder if you check the records, if any trips by any of these California politicians to their new homes in Florida are put down as official business and paid for by the taxpayer. I wonder. I don't know. Maybe you know. All we do know is that the people of LA County should be furious right now at where the time, energy, and attention is being focused by the people who are supposed to be running their city and the people who are supposed to be keeping them safe and improving their quality of life. And they're not. They're focused on something that essentially probably wasn't even happening all that often. And if it was happening, really wasn't going to affect anything on the grand scheme of things. It's just posturing. It's all theater. And anyone with any kind of common sense a brain in between their ears know this is just theater. I don't know. If you live in LA County, chime in. Why are they doing this? And does it really affect the people of the county? Or is it just posturing? Would love to know. It's actually pretty amazing. I don't know how anyone with sense continues to live there, pay those taxes, and deal. I mean, I guess there's people with family and maybe people with jobs that can't move because they wouldn't be able to get another job. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you know. But imagine that. Imagine being one of those residents right now dealing with what they're dealing with. And this is what is making the headlines. This story, this vote. Meanwhile, the politicians are buying houses in the states that they're now officially banned from traveling to. Sounds a little, I know, it's been overused. It's been overused. But it does sound like a bit like the Twilight Zone, where you can't quite understand what is happening. Anyhow, let me know what you think. And by the way, the weather is turning for those people in California and other parts of the country. Weather's turning. 221B, new shorts. They're live. You might want to check them out. They're probably the most comfortable pair of shorts you've ever worn. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So you might want to check them out if you wear shorts. If not, then you might want to check out the pants. Anyway, be careful out there, especially if you live in LA County. Always watch your back, watch your six, watch their hands. Make sure you say, oh, and by the way, one last note. Question. This is a serious question. If you're still wearing a mask outside underneath your nose, as someone just walked past earlier, not just now, earlier, someone walked past, they're wearing a mask underneath their nose, but it was outside, they're walking by themselves. What needs to happen? If you're one of these people watching and you're currently wearing a mask outside or alone in your car, what needs to happen? What do you need to see or hear from the government? What message you need? Like, what needs to happen for you to feel comfortable to no longer do that? I'm just curious because you see it here and there, and at this point, you kind of wonder. You're like, wait a second, okay, all right, what needs to happen? What needs to happen in order for you to no longer wear a mask outside by yourself? A serious question. I'm just curious for those who are those people. So if you're one of those people watching right now, I would love to know. Listen, no knock against you, just wondering what it might be that you need to hear personally to make you say, okay, I'm outside, fresh air, by myself. Mask is now below my nose, but anyway, I can now take the mask off. What do you need to hear? What needs to happen? Would love to know. I think quite a few of us would like to know. Quite a few million of us would like to know. So do us all a favor and let us know here. Keep washing your hands and stuff. It's out there. It's going to get you. It's going to jump out of the bushes and get you.